Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back here to the ACG Best of the Best SEA region group stages. We've got Mineski versus Sahara, 0 latitude here in a best of 3 series. Thank you so much for joining us here on BTS2. My name is Mont, and should be a good series to start off with here. Obviously, just finished a best of 3 series between Scythe and Ideal. A good series there. Very quick series as well, but nonetheless, a lot of great games, a lot of great plays, a lot of great players, and a lot of fun to watch, even though it was a bit quicker than anticipated. So, for Mineski versus Sahara, Sahara just coming off, I believe, was a victory in their best of 3 series. Mineski has not yet played this evening, this afternoon, I guess, if you're, of course, from the Philippines. But, you know, Pinoy Dota,
5 seconds
up in full force right now. We do have a couple of bands coming out, as you can see. Venomancer as well as the Nyx Assassin. I'm excited to see what's going to go on here. 2 interesting bands. Venomancer, surprised to see him first ban. You don't often see that with that hero, but sometimes it's worth it. That Venomous Scale to set up an early gank might be nice. Plague Wars to push. Poison Sting just to harass is pretty exceptionally annoying. So good to see him get out of the pool. Nyx Assassin, very strong support, very strong offlaner as well. Good for stunning. Obviously, mana burn really nice against those in heroes. Really good stuff to have there. Vendetta so good at ganking, just annoying to deal with in general. So 2 strong bands to start off with, and we'll get into our reserve time immediately. So we'll see what kind of game we have. Where in the first game of Scythe versus Ideal, we had more of a, a battling, roaming type of game. Whereas in the second game, Scythe decided to go for that push-oriented lineup. And we might see that come out from Mineski or for Sahara. Either way, I think a lot of people would prefer to see more team fighting rather than just straight pushing or, roaming and, split pushing for years and just rat dodoing. But it depends on the heroes that are picked. With a ban on Ember Spirit, that means there's going to be a little bit less fighting, a little bit less ganking. Very strong hero in that regard with his Searing Change, obviously with his his Flame Guard, and obviously his Sleight of Fist. So the hero's just strong in general. One of the stronger ones, I think, right now in the current draft. I don't know if he'll get, nerfed or something in the next patch, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that, just with how good he is with solo experience and with farm as well. You get up an early Desolator, even a Battle Fury, maybe even 2 Battle Furies if you're feeling luxurious, but no, good hero, strong hero. He's sort of hard to play, but if you can play him right, much like, Earth Spirit, you have a good chance of winning your game. Invoker is going to be the first pickup, and that is that's one of those heroes right now that does deserve that top tier pick, does deserve that top tier ban. And a lot of people are questioning, and you're saying, okay, well listen, I mean, all they changed was EMP, really, when you think about it. But that was strong enough to have Quaswix come back into the mix, whereas it only used to be Quas Exort. With Quas Exort, he was picked, decently often. With Quaswex, he's picked almost every time now, and that's not a huge surprise. Tornado's good. It's always been good. Tornado EMP, even better now that the EMP is just so strong. Ghostwalk, obviously, the move speed increase there. That's not a huge deal. Base damage still a bit low on the low side if you go for Quaswex, but you can, of course, overcome that with an early null talisman. Maybe even go for Blades of Attack and have some of your, supports pull using tangos. Still, Invoker, a strong hero. But on the other side of things, Mineski pick up 2 extraordinarily strong heroes in their own right. Visage, he has been consistently picked, consistently banned for about a year and a half now. I mean, that hero, you go back to maybe even close to TI2, that hero was getting picked a decent bit. So, Visage has just been all over the place, whether or not it's first pick, first ban, or somewhere along those lines. He's good. Soul Assumption, good ability. Grave Chill, good ability. His birds, fantastic. Nature's Prophet comes out as well for Mineski, and split pushing Ahoy. We'll see what happens with that. On the other side of things, Bristleback now coming out for Sahara, and Hero was nerfed a bit with his base damage. Does that really matter when you're quill spraying people to death is the question. No, not really. If the fight goes long enough, if you're in a long-winded, long duration fight, Bristleback will whittle you down with your quill sprays, and he'll just kind of make you mincemeat, essentially. Also, the armor reduction coming out from Nasal Goo, so nice, plus the slow. Bristleback, maybe perhaps not necessarily overrated, but maybe he's overstayed his welcome in the competitive scene. I'm not one to argue about it, so I will stop talking about Bristleback. But Pugna does get banned here from Sahara. Good ban coming out. A bunch of good bans, in fact, from both sides.
Team ban.
So I'm glad you guys are over here tonight. BTS running 2 streams. Of course, I hope you have your multi-Twitch open, or if you have 2 monitors, then you can go both full screen, and that's fantastic. BTS 1 should be a game going on with LD and Lysander, or at least waiting to get into a game. But, yeah. I mean, a lot of action, a lot of SEA Dota for you guys tonight, and it's always a pleasure to cast for you here on BTS, whether it's BTS 1, BTS 2. It's nice. It's nice to be here. It's nice to be here. A couple more bands making their way through, Ancient Apparition being one of them, Dazzle being the other. Ancient Apparition, probably one of the most popular supports as of recently, and Chilling Touch is, I think, one of the reasons why. Ice Blast, excellent ability as well. Dazzle, on the other hand, also kind of popular to a certain extent. You have, obviously, your, Shallow Grave. Your Weave's nice to have as well. Just a lot of really useful abilities, and that's kind of the exciting thing about Dota. We're getting to a point where we're starting to settle into 6.80 a bit. We're starting to settle and see, okay, here's what people are picking, here's what people are banning. And as we move forward, the meta will get staler and staler, but we still see exciting Dota from time to time. With Bristleback, Invoker, and Visage, I expect to see a lot of action here early. Nature's Prophet does kind of slow down the pace of a game. However, with his TPs early, he can provide a lot for his team. Ganking ability, pressure on towers, what have you. So expect to see maybe some fast-paced action early, and for it to slow down as we get going later into the game. I guess that's how it goes for most games in Dota, but certainly I think that might be the case in this one. I was going to come out right now for Mineski, and this is going to be part of a global strategy. Something, some teams like to run. IO, not the strongest support in a tri-lane. Once you hit level 6, though, it's disgusting what you can accomplish with it. Depends on how comfortable Sahara is against that global strategy with Relocate and Nature's Prophet. They'll be able to split push and take fights pretty effectively all over the map, and Sahara have to wonder about that. Luckily, Invoker's good at taking down Relocate ganks with his Tornado, EMP, and even Ghost Walk. So maybe that won't be an issue. Maybe they're not focusing on that too much. Bristleback can tank up any sort of huge aggression if they're trying to gank him. He's not one hero you'd like to solo gank. It'd be tough to kill him. But there are other options for you to go for. Now, the question remains, what does Mineski go for in terms of chaining up with that IO? We've seen Tiny and IO so many times with Fnatic. Even other teams like to, Liquid loves to do, Tiny TC Tiny IO kind of combination. And, CK, okay hero. He does need to get that farm, and you really cannot fight without Phantasm. So we'll see if Mineski really are thinking about going for either of those two heroes. Ursa's another good combination. Also, Riki can work just as well. There's a couple other heroes here and there that do okay. Heroes that have generally good lockdown and burst damage is what you want to have. And there's a couple other heroes that fit that mold. But as we go through the draft, we'll figure it out. As of right now, Sahara need to get a couple of supports and a carry. They have that Bristleback. They have the Invoker. CM's not available. AA is not available. Maybe go for something like a Rubik is still available. Bane could be nice here. Earthshaker even works really well. Earthshaker good at disrupting IO ganks, I think, just because two of them right in there. Get Fissured. Fissured block as well would be nice to have. Even Bane to Nightmare, Rubik to Telekinesis, but they're going to pick up their carry first. That's going to be Lycan. So they've got all three of their cores right in a row, and they still have some of their supports to pick up right now. And Lycan, so good at split pushing in his own right. So now we've transitioned into, and not only split pushing, Lycan, I mean with Howl. That's generally the build you go for now. Howl is just such a good ability, just to be able to give your team that bonus damage to be able to fight early on is really nice. The cooldown's a bit short as well. At its max level, 35-second cooldown, just to have that extra damage, super huge to have. So they aren't on the dire side. They won't be able to kind of have that early Roche if they wanted to, if they got a medallion like we saw in that second game between Scythe as well as Ideal. Still, it's a fun hero. Like Lycan is just like, I'm just gonna run at you. I'm gonna hit you. The question is, will they have enough lockdown? With Viscous Nezugu, absolutely. With Invoker and Cold Snap, absolutely. I like what they have already going for them. Mineski, they have Visage, they have IO, they have Nature's Prophet. They've got the Sprout, they've got the Grave Chill, they've got the Slow from IO. They're going to have an Alchemist as well, and that's maybe either mid or carry Alch, which is something we don't see too often with that hero, because Alchemist has generally not been played as a carry since about TI3. Some would argue that his stats aren't quite there to make a good carry. His damage isn't quite there. But he certainly could do a nice job of it if he can get some levels as well. He also has the ability to farm pretty much faster than everybody with Grievel's Greed. Shadow Shaman coming out for Sahara Zero Latitude. With the wards, with the wolves, this is a pretty, pushing-oriented lineup in its own right, which I love about Sahara's lineup. They have the lockdown with Shadow Shaman, Invoker, Bristleback, what have you. They have the wards, they have the wolves. I like their lineup a bit more as of right now than Mineski's. Mineski, if you look at the Alchemist, you're kind of like, I don't know where that fits. Is that really going to be a carry Alchemist? Is that really going to be a mid Alchemist? If that's the case, you're going to mid an Alchemist against an Invoker, which might be okay. Acid Spray does a nice job of harassing, getting last hits, zoning the Invoker out, but Invoker's going to stay back and right click him. So if that's the case, I think Invoker probably does better. He has the Quas to regen with. His base damage isn't all that high, so Alchemist shouldn't be taking too much damage, but still Cold Snap is always a danger. I'd have to say that's probably a carry Alch in this scenario.
10 seconds remaining.
10 seconds left on the reserve time right now for Sahara Zero Latitude.
5
Couple bans to go. They'll ban out the
remaining.
Slaughter real quick. Make sure there's no kind of
Dire
aggressive nature
team
coming
pick.
out from Mineski here. Mineski looks like they need a mid, I think, at this point. I just don't see that Alchemist going mid unless they want to do some crazy 2-on-2 type of lanes. I don't see anything. I'm not exactly sure they can dual lane mid and try to dual lane that Invoker, but that would be, I think, a waste of resources. So who am I to say, however? Mineski, maybe known for their unorthodox drafting styles.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
As of right now, they have the last pick here. Sahara will have the, of course, last pick.
Reserve time.
In which case, they will pick up a support. And it won't be an Enchantress, as that was the next ban for Mineski, so no surprise there. Strong hero can throw out that right click, no problem with impetus damage. Really good at ganking with one of the creeps. And just all around a strong hero with Nature's Tenants. Untouchable is really great for roshing as well. So Mineski have a couple of options here, and looking at what they have now, it's got to be mid. And maybe a Puck might be okay in this scenario. Silence would be really nice to have against a couple of these heroes, especially the Invoker.
10 seconds remaining.
Storm Spirit could be good at picking a couple of these heroes off, but I'm
5
not sure.
seconds
A
remaining.
lot of options for them. Maybe even a Templar Assassin. They're going to go for a Gyrocopter, though, so now it means that it is going to be
Radiant
probably a
team
mid-Alchemist. With a Gyro, Io, Visage, potentially Nature's Prophet off lane. The way they're going to lane this is interesting, to say the least. So this draft is kind of, it's making me scratch my head here and just thinking, what exactly are they doing? We'll see when the draft, when the drafting stage is complete, when we jump into the game, but I'm not 100% sure. This is,
10
it's very
seconds
interesting
remaining.
to see this. Like I said, you could dual lane mid, have something like an
5
Alchemist Io,
seconds
Gyrocopter
remaining.
Visage, and then Nature's Prophet in an off lane or something, but is that really going to be the best idea?
Reserve
It does
time.
get you the levels for the Io and the Alchemist. It does give you room for the Visage as well as the Gyrocopter. But here's the issue. Disruptor comes out against a global strategy, and all of a sudden your lineup is looking maybe not as potent as it was before for Mineski. Because now you have to deal with Glimpse. And Disruptor in its own right has been a very strong hero as of recently. Thunderstrike does a decent amount of damage. Static Storm's a great ultimate, and Glimpse is Glimpse. Everybody knows about Glimpse. Plus, you get a nice kinetic field. If you're in a kinetic field with a Bristleback, oh boy, you better look out because he's going to run at you. Same with Lycan. And this is going to be, I think, a lot of fun to watch, to see if he hits these Glimpses, to see if he hits these kinetic fields, as well as Static Storms. It's going to be a lot of fun to see if Sahara can take this game. And Mineski, on the other side of things, they have an unorthodox draft. They have an unorthodox lineup. We'll see if it can win them the game right now. Maybe even a very
10
greedy lineup.
seconds
You look at how many heroes kind of need levels in farm. At least 4 need the levels. You can even argue all 5 need the levels. So that's something we will have to check out as we do jump into this game. It is game 1 between Sahara Zero Latitude as well as Mineski.
Prepare
Thank you for joining us here on BTS2. Let's go over the teams. Oh, okay. Actually, that's for the Nature's Prophet. That's fine. But maybe a bit of a mistake. I'm not sure. Either way, if that's for the Nature's Prophet, I think that's a smart ward to place just to make sure that the career doesn't get picked off. So, if he TP's in. Either way. Actually, I don't. That was probably a mistake. I'm just trying to... It's fine. We'll introduce everybody. For Sahara Zero Latitude on the Radiant team, Phoenix going to be on the Shadow Shaman here real quick. Amazing on the Lycan. Also in the bottom tri-lane, Indigo is going to be on the Disruptor. Heading to the mid lane on the Invoker is going to be Naviz. We'll have... in the top lane, riding it all out, Liberi Fatali on the Bristleback. On the other side of things, for Mineski, off lane at Nature's Prophet, going for boots first, smart build there. Jay, question mark, going to be on the Nature's Prophet, heading to the mid lane. It is going to be Jesse Vash on that Alchemist. Again, a greedy kind of lineup, sending this Alchemist mid. Up in that top tri-lane, defensive tri-lane, going to be on the Gyrocopter. We'll see Quay will be on the Io as well as G on the Visage. So, right now, defensive tri-lane, no aggressive tri-lanes coming out from either side, and they're just going to try to get levels in farm for both of their, of course, their carries here. So, Lycan should do just fine. If the game goes lit, if maybe Gyro can carry pretty hard, but the problem is going to be split pushing on both sides. Also, the team fight, I believe, for Sahara is a bit stronger. You have Plague Wards, you have Bristleback, you have Lycan, you have whatever you need. Static Storm, everything really there. You hit a nice call down, however, for Mineski, and maybe the team fight turns around, and you can also not count out relocate ganks. So, seeing what everyone's starting off with, Gyrocopter going for boots early. Interestingly enough, getting, of course, Tango and a GG branch. Nothing too crazy there. Kind of, interesting that he went boots, but nonetheless, that's still fine. Jesse Vash getting just pulled 1 Tango. He's going to try to get that very quick bottle, and Viz can, of course, just kind of disrupt his gameplay with a nice little cold snap and a bit of damage. He did go for that Blades of Attack like I was talking about. Down bottom, looks like they're trying to gank here on Jay. He's got those boots. Glimpse might be used here, and it will. Shackles might go. They should. Shackles are going to fly. The Wolves are going to be used as well. Is this going to be first blood? Absolutely. No way Jay gets out of this alive. The right click going to be enough for Phoenix. They'll back off. Easy first blood on that All Flame Nature's Prophet. And that's just the Glimpse coming into play there. Didn't skill Thunderstrike, didn't skill Kinetic Field, knew exactly what he needed to get that kill done. And they find it. In that top lane, what do you have to lock down this Bristleback? You've got no Homing Missile just yet. You've got no Grave Chill skilled. What about Io? He's only got that slow from Tether. Bristleback is going to have an amazing time in comparison to this Nature's Prophet. So Jay, he's probably like, why? Why did you put me in this lane right now? Whereas in that top lane, Bristleback's just like, yep, love this lane. It's going to be great. Going to be good. In the meantime, Jesse Vash in that mid lane, throwing up the Acid Spray, just trying to harass Invoker, get him back. At one point in that Quasi has a bit of regen, not as much as he would like. Missing a couple last hits, it's hard to do some CSing with because the Invoker doesn't have that much base damage. He is at 43 plus 9. That's important to note. They're trying to go on Jay again in that bottom lane. This time, of course, you can see the boots did pay off. Glimpse was on cooldown. Had he been here and the Glimpse was there, they'd probably get a kill. But I missed a kill in that top lane. And just as I was saying, Bristleback was going to have a good time. Visage picks up the kill. Using, of course, his Soul Assumption, probably Grave Chill, maybe coming into effect. Io will pause the game. Ping is spiking, apparently, but not sure where the Bristleback died exactly. No, okay, he actually just respawned. I wanted to know where he died, but interesting ward placed here. Usually you can place it here, and you'd be fine, but they decided to place it up against this banner, so interesting stuff. So right now you look at the last hit battle mid. 4 last hits coming out for the Invoker, 3 for the Alchemist. He's got his bottle already. That's just fine. 2 points to the Acid Spray. Not going to go for the Grievous Greed just yet. Maybe only going to keep 1 point in Unstable Concoction and start going to the Grievous Greed next. Wouldn't be surprised to see him do that. Doing some nice jobs denying there of that top lane. Invis rune down at that bottom rune spot. Being pinged out by the Visage nicely. And Alchemist will go ahead and battle that up. But that gives, of course, room for Invis to go ahead and farm this wave real quick, so that'll be nice. We'll see if Alk wants to do anything with this. I don't think so. I mean, there's only the Nature's Prophet. He really can't contribute much to his tri lane. Not that there is one down here. Amazing. Already up at his Ring of Facilities. Probably going to try to go for an early Vlads. No Medallion, perhaps. Shackles are going to go. They're going to try to dive him right now. Clarity's up on him. Do they have enough to take him down? Glimpse might go. There it goes. Going to bring him right back to this tower. And they grab the kill. Disruptor getting it there. Nicely done. And they just dive right past this tower. They have to wait for the next creep wave. Amazing will take a couple of tower hits, but he's fine. So, nice dive. They knew they could get away with it with the creep wave coming in. And just like that, they've got themselves another kill on that Nature's Prophet. They'll continue to farm him, get some gold for these supports, get some experience for these supports as well. Maybe try to pull eventually. But for now, maybe put some pressure on the tower. No damage taken just yet, but soon that may change. In the top lane, Boots, Basilius as well for the Gyrocopter sitting at level 3. Quay's been pulling it, I think, at least a little bit. They're going to try to go again here. Grave Chill's going to fly. They need that Tether slow, and they're going to get it. Rocket Barrage as well. Soul Assumption to clean everything up. And I was questioning this tri-lane, but Mineski's playing it to great effect. They get another kill for Visage. Owl using his Rocket Barrage, and surprisingly, this combo is doing work. The Tether coming through with the Grave Chill, nicely done. Bristleback not able to get out easily enough. Boots are up for him now, and that's not even the issue. Mid lane, Tornado's going to go. Cold Snap as well. Invis rune pops. No dust, it seems. Phoenix going to throw the sentry down, but a bit too late. Glimpse might come through, and decides against it. Not sure if he had range for it or not. Looks like no. So great escape coming up from Jesse Bash. Using that Invis rune wisely, not using it just to get mana or what have you. Just saving it for that specific scenario. They're going to dive in that top lane right now. TP being cancer coming through. They say, listen, if you're going to dive, we're going to come with you with Jay. They're going to actually try to push the tower right now. Make some treants and try to go on this tier 1 tower. Realizing Jay's not getting much in that bottom lane. He is getting experience, but they want more than that. Mid lane, action happening. Jesse Vash getting Cold Snap right now. They're still going. There's the Thunder Strike as well. Trying to get to the haste rune. Will he make it? No. Easy kill for the Invoker. Rotating through. Io will grab the haste, but it's a bit too late to help his friend out. Top lane. Tier 1 tower already falling below half health. This is what you like to see out of a team with a Nature's Prophet. They're pushing very, very effectively now. They actually have to get this tower here, and it looks like it's going to be Owl getting it. No, Nature's Prophet gets the last hit. Well on his way towards either his Phase or his Midas, whichever one he wants to get. But now that the Tier 1 is gone, Bristleback has a bit more room to farm. That's the trade-off that you get. You get more room to get some last hits experience as well. They're not going to generally dive you here. Right about here's the mark where you probably go. Maybe even a bit further. But as of right now, I mean, with the way they're playing, they certainly could go again. In that bottom lane, amazing. Still trying to get to that Vlad's. 23 last hits. He is leading the way in that chart, but obviously the tower is going to help out Awa and his team. So looking at Quay, level 4, no relocate just yet, and it'll be a couple more minutes before it gets to level 6. Jesse Vash with that bottle, still brown boots as well. What about the Invoker? Invoker's not here right now. He's up in that top lane. Maybe looking for a gank phase. Boots are done. He's going to be going for a drum next. He's got Tornado to EMP ready to go. He's thinking about going. They're drawing them in a bit. Gyrocopter's here. Quay's here. Tornado's about to fly perhaps. Glimpse goes a bit short there. There's going to be the Tornado flying up. The EMP as well. Cold Snap hitting. A lot of damage. Tether trying to get him out of there. Not going to be the case. Overcharge not doing enough to save his life. And Disruptor grabs a nice kill coming out for Indigo. Like I said, drawing him in. Nice gank from Invis. You see so many Invokers so often just sit in their lane and just try to CS. When you're Quas Exhort, that might be okay. When you're going for a Midas, that might be okay. But Invis wants to be a part of these ganks, and that's excellent. Meanwhile, Indigo getting zoned out by this Visage. In terms of levels, the supports, Visage is the lowest. He's level 3 right now, but he's not too far behind. Down bottom, TP coming through from the Nature's Prophet, maybe thinking about fighting, but instead goes for the Illusion Rune, cancels that as well. And this ward is about to run out. Luckily, the Vlad's is now done for the Lycan. Phoenix gonna grab the Illusion Rune. Unstable Concoction is gonna go. Phoenix may die for this. Nice Shackles. Is it gonna be long enough? No, Unstable. No, the Hex. What a Hex. He stuns himself, but he also stuns Phoenix in the process. Phoenix getting right-click down. He walked right by him, and he got stunned. Just a little bit of luck helping out the Alchemist player there. Invis still trying to get to those drums right now. How about the farm for the Gyrocopter in that top lane? He does have 25 last hits, not doing too badly. Rushing a BKB perhaps. Brown Boots, Basilius, BKB rush, one of the more interesting builds I've seen. Down to the bottom lane, Jay, Midas recipe purchased up on him. Admiral Bulldog is a proponent of building phase boots first before you build into that Midas. He's said so many, many times. Don't rush Midas if you can afford it. Just go for the phase first and start being effective that way. Unfortunately, Jay is not doing that. Not to say it's wrong necessarily, but a bit different from what we usually see. Down to this bottom lane, amazing. Continue to farm away. Shapeshift ready for him to go at a moment's notice. Maybe buy his treads before he heads into the Roche Pit. With maybe the Plague Wards also might be something they're waiting for. Chemical Rage being popped for Jesse Vash. Of course, it does give you that mana regeneration. So nice to have. So underrated. Well, I don't know if it's underrated, but it's really nice. G up in the top lane with Awa. The more I look at it, the more it's a BKB rush. Amazing diving in that bottom lane. Maybe looking for Jay. Not using his shapeshift there, but no big surprise. TP's going to come out real quick, it seems. You have to understand that if you do see some lag from the stream, it's most likely the ping lag coming out from the server issues that I have. Top lane, they're continuing to pressure here. Nature's Prophet TP's back home. He gets his Midas and get his phase boots next. Jesse Vash maybe looking for the 8-minute rune. It is top. It's going to be that haste rune for Phoenix, real quick to grab. In the mid lane, Invis, he's got Disruptor watching his back right now, sort of seeping some of that experience that he could be using for himself. Haste rune is grabbed, bottom lane, Invoker, excuse me, amazing, the Lycan, trying to push this tower. TP comes through, this time for the Gyrocopter. More room for him to farm to get some more last hits. And right now we're just playing the farm game. A little bit of split push going on here and there, but for the most part, farming is really what's happening. There are 3 heroes sitting mid, not doing much for Sahara. I'm surprised they aren't trying to group up and get something done. In fact, they do just that. They smoke up, and now they're going to look for a kill. Maybe perhaps in the bottom lane, maybe perhaps wrap around in the mid lane like that.
Radiant's middle tower
Not like that. My
attack.
map geometry is screwed up for whatever reason. In that top lane, Io is getting that solo experience, which is huge. Bristleback has also been left to his own devices. He's sitting at level 6, didn't get a point of Viscous just yet, but soon will. Roaming up top, here we go. Here's going to be the gank coming through. Glimpse, it is long enough range. It's going to hit him. Io in some trouble, cannot relocate out. He's not 6, and he'll go down to Indico's right click and Thunderstrike. Nice smoke gank. They get something done. Maybe would have valued a high priority target instead, but they have to settle for the Io. They make him stay at level 5, excuse me, and that's exactly what they wanted. Make sure he doesn't get to 6 just yet. So, as we continue further here, 9 minutes into the game, we'll check out the graphs real quick. 500 gold lead coming out from Mineski, and experience lead's about even. No big surprise there. I mean, been trading back and forth, so there's no clear lead just yet. Obviously, that tower did go early on for Mineski, but other than that, the game's still, you know, toe-to-toe. Owl purchasing up his phase boots. So just casual Ogre Club into the phase boots, make him a bit tankier, then get the more damage that you need. Looks like it is going to be the Necro Book for the Lycan. Howl, not max. Actually, in a trial lane, only going 1 point Howl. Maybe the Lycan Wolf is a bit better. Pharaoh Pulse at level 2 right now. TP up to the top lane. I like this movement from Owl just to make sure that he knows he can get farm. Might as well rotate up when you can. Just start roaming around, getting farm wherever you can. Mech's going to be the choice for the Alchemist right now. He picks up the regen rune as well. Keep him a bit keep him more alive, I should say, rather than tankier. Look at this ward placement from both sides. Just equal opposite ends of the map. Very interesting to see that kind of ward placement. Viscous Nasal Goo. No, not skilled just yet. He maxes maxes his Quill Spray first. I'm surprised he didn't get at least 1 point in that Nasal Goo to be able to gank early on. Amazing. Still working on this tower right now. He'll pop his Howl. Nature's Prophet's going to TP in. Spirit's going to push him off the tower, and he'll back away. Top lane's also getting pressured right now. Is here, so maybe they can take this down. Wex is up, ready to go. Attack speed going through. Liberal Fatale. Going to try to Quill Spray this wave down as much as possible. 2 heroes rotating through, one being the Gyro. He does have that call down. Bird's not ready yet for the Visage. Down bottom, they'll try to split push in the meantime. TP's coming through. It's the Alchemist. He's got Unstable. It's maxed up. He's got regen. He's also got mana regeneration coming out from Chemical Rage. Will they try to go for this tower? Not sure, but down bottom, Amazing. Chasing after 1, chasing after 2. He has Shapeshift. A lot of damage going through on Quay. He can't get out. No relocate available. There's the right click to grab the kill. Easy solo for Lycan. That experience in gold going to be so nice for him to start running away with. Nature's Prophet can only just sit by and watch. Not much he can do there. Medallion now done for the Visage. Invis is here. Unstable Concoction. Hitting up on, of course... Oh. Glimpse, Tornado, EMP, dead Visage. Just so very dead. They're going to work on this tier 1 tower now as well. Jesse Bash getting Nasal Good. There's the armor reduction going through. Lycan takes down that tier 1 tower bottom, and all of a sudden the pressure's on. 7 kills coming out for Sahara right now, only 3 from Mineski. They've really got to hope this Gyrocopter can farm, and the Alchemist can start getting into it soon. But now getting chased down by Libera Fatale. He has that Nasal Goo going right now. 4 points of the Quill Spray as well. Warpath's going to start stacking up. He's got 5 stacks of it, in fact. 100 bonus damage. You do not want to be on the receiving end of that, even if you are a tanky Alchemist. Awa in the mid lane with this Ogre Club still ready to go. They're going to try to push down this mid tower. In response, they may lose the tier 1 top. Jesse Vance can't defend this alone. It's the important thing to note. G heading around, still not 6 form. In fact, I don't know if the IO 6 either. TP's coming through, fortification coming out from the Radiant side. Dire team, they throw down the wards. They say, let's try to take this tower real quick and defend. There's the Tornado coming through, pushing them back. Unstable Concoction is going to fly. It does hit on the Bristleback now, taking a bit of damage. Relocate up. 4 heroes here. Now, Bristleback going to take a soul assumption. Not dead yet. He does go down. Double kill coming out from the Gyrocopter in the meantime. They get it done in the mid lane. Call down's going right now, as you can clearly see. Flat cannon. Where did that double kill come from? Was it relocate? Not sure. Rocket Barrage still going. Amazing has to back off. Suddenly Mineski almost evening up the score. They do lose that tower. No denial in sight. Was the Plague Ward's getting it. Lycan gets a kill in the meantime on Io. Using his wolves, just chasing them around essentially. You see where they are placed right now. They're all over the map. Literally. Jay with his Midas. He'll be going for Necro Book as well. It's a Necro game, it seems. The split push is strong for both sides, and that's just the type of game we're going to have here. 4 staff the next item for the Invoker, probably going to a Sheep or something along those lines afterwards. A little bit different from Miracle's Invoker that we saw in the first game of the Scythe series, where he went for that quick Orc and Malevolence, which I like a bit more. 4 staff obviously gives you that mobility, but Orc is just so nice to have on any hero, really. G roaming through. Birds are up. We'll try to get the courier and will. Nice play coming out from G. Pick up that extra gold for his team. Glimpse back through. Jesse Vash just making sure they don't aggress any further. The Radiant team knowing that could have been a problem. Medallion now up on the Nature's Prophet, so they're going for the dual Medallion strat. Sells it very quickly instead. Purchases another one to sell. And then perhaps buy something. Alright. We'll pretend we didn't see that, I suppose. He TP's mid. Looks like they want to go ahead and go Roche. Medallion is up, and this is possible for them. EMP flying through, Cold Snap as well. Jesse Vash getting pushed back, but they should know this is happening. They don't have a ward just on the Roche pit, so it'll be out of range. Sentry Ward not able to counter this. They're all missing from the map. Bristleback's able to farm freely, as well as the Lycan, but this is going to be a pretty free Roche here, unless they can get in time and contest it, but it doesn't seem to be the case. And Viz just going to continue to farm. Net worth right now, Lycan is leading the way, but Roshan is going to help quell that issue for Mineski. Let's take the Aegis for the gyrocopter. He'll back off. His BKB very close to being done, about 300 gold away from that. Then he can start fighting even more effectively. Invoker will start being worthless until his BKB starts to wear down in its duration. So top lane, Nature's Prophet going to push this out. Necrobook almost done for him. Just needs the recipe, which is not at the courier as of yet, but should be soon in a couple hundred gold. Glimpse back on the IO. Relocate can be used. Will he use it is the question. Ether Shock not in time. Call down going. There's the Plague Wards. A lot of damage going into that gyrocopter. Phoenix, Static Storm, Tornado, allowing a little bit of damage to go through. Gyrocopter still alive right now. Jesse Fast trying to break down these wards. In the end, it's a 1-for-1 trade. Phoenix goes down. IO goes down. A support for support. The wards wasted. Not doing that much damage to the tower. The Static Storm wasted as well. Jesse Vash still alive and kicking. He's got Chemical Rage to regen and back up. All the while, amazing. Pushing down to that bottom lane. Adding a little bit of tower damage. Whittling it down little by little. Getting it lower and lower. Still not anywhere near half health yet. But he's doing his job. Nature's Prophet hasn't done much split pushing yet. His Necro Book is about there. When it gets there, maybe the split push gets a bit stronger. But Lycan's just been in lane. And pretty much in this lane alone. Side lane. Just been pushing it out. Farming it. Doing whatever he can. His CS right now, 124, as you can see. Double damage rune bottom. Won't be able to get that in time. Jesse Vash is going to pick that up. Bottle it up. 1,700 gold in the bank for him. His next item, not sure. Can go for that Lothar's if he really needs to. The Shadow Blade. Maybe even an AC. Would take a bit longer to get to, obviously. But maybe even a Force Staff might be nice for him, just to help his team out of a bad situation. He's going to get Tornado. Just a casual Tornado to come through. And Viz just pushing him back, as you can clearly see.
You didn't want it anyway.
Up in the jungle, right-clicking these mud golems. Damn mud golems. Jay says, listen, I just want to get my Necrobook. I just want to farm. He could be pushing top right now. As you can see, this tower is pushed in. Have to carry a TP scroll. There's no real way for him to get out if he gets caught there. And as you can see, Bristleback's around. He can't stun him necessarily, but obviously can dish out a ton of damage. So, again, grouped up mid, these supports, not doing much, not getting experience. And that's kind of the issue here. Sahara are just sitting around mid, just trying to find something for them to do. They're not stacking. They aren't pulling. They aren't, fighting jungle camps. They're not smoking. They're just warding at least right now, which is good. They do have the smoke on them. Necrobook 2 is done. They've created a lot of space for the Lycan here by just sitting in the mid lane alone, which is nice, but they're still behind in levels right now. They're 2 levels behind, at least Indigo is, the IO as well as the Visage. The Shadow Shaman level 7, so he's doing a bit better, but not by much. In the jungle, Jay continues to farm away. What about the gyrocopter? What are you sitting at, buddy? BKB's been done for a bit of time. 300 gold in the bank. Basilius is still up. Phase boots are still there. And amazing with that Necro too. Feeling pretty confident in himself already. We have to keep our eye on relocate gangs. As you can see, the IO is still with the gyrocopter. They want those 2 heroes to be in and out of fights as much as possible. So we'll see if they try to go for something mid. Top lane. And the same goes for Jay, because he can come in at a moment's notice as well. But there is going to be a smoke gank right now. We'll follow Indigo's lead and see where he goes. Sentry Ward walking right by it. It's about to fall. Illusion Rune's on the ground. And they're going to try to head bottom. Owa getting spied by these wolves right now. He'll back off. They're being a bit aggressive right now. In fact, he's running at them. They should know something's up. They're going to get cut off, however, by Fata. Going to throw up the Viscous Daisugu and going to try to slow this guy down. Nice relocate to get him back in base by the time they got there. And that means that IO will die, it seems. Unless they want to try to fight this. TPs are coming through. It looks like Mineski want to go here. They're all sitting right around. This is going to be a fight. TP coming through from the Nature's Prophet. Spirits are up. Jay looking for a sprout. Unstable Concoction stuns itself. Now, call down. BKB is going to go. Right-click damage. Doing a lot there. Getting low. Phoenix, Soul Assumption. There's the silence on Jesse Bash. Now, the Shapeshift going. G getting chased down by the Lycan. Lycan doing work there. Sprouted up. Not saving him. There's the Tornado. Aegis is gone. Jesse Bash getting chased down. Goo is up. Acid Spray. Excuse me. On the ground. More cool sprays going. He's dead. 4 step forward. There's going to be the Rocket Barrage doing work. Amazing. Still in that shapeshift form. Doesn't matter. He's out of it now. Sprout goes through. What are your spells available? And there's Cold Snap's on cooldown. So is Tornado. They'll back off. It looks like they won't continue this fight. As you can see, maybe chasing after Amazing. There's the Nature's Wrath. The EMP. Cold Snap pushing Awa back even further. They can't continue. They could have gotten so much more with that Nature's Wrath. Tornado going through. Are they going to go back in? No. Defensive Tornado flying. This time from Invis. They'll back themselves up. They'll get out of the fight. In the end, it's about a 2-for-2 trade plus an Aegis, I believe. I'm not 100% sure about that. Maybe a 1-for-2, it seems. Yeah, 1-for-2 plus Aegis.
Tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower
So in the end, it looks like
attack.
Sahara come out on the receiving or the winning end there. Maybe 1-for-3? Because the only kill they got was Gyrocopter, I believe, on the Phoenix, on Shadow Shaman, excuse me. So it seems it was a 1 for 3, if you count the Aegis in. Either way, Necrobook 3 is done. Glimpse is going to come back up in the top lane. There's the kinetic field. Nicely timed. Jay's going to try to sprout himself and TP away. Do they have a stun is the question. Relocate coming through. Static Storm too late. Oh, IO. Miscommunication. You will die because of it. They can't get the Nature's Prophet, but they can get the IO. They couldn't get anything to stop that TP coming through. Even if the Static Storm had gone through, it was a TP by hand. It wasn't his actual TP ability. Now mid lane action happening. Amazing going through. Now the Necrobook is used. BKB going as well. Now it's already down twice. Doesn't matter. The right click is so very strong. He's not fast enough. He's going to get Grave Chill. Not that it's going to matter. Right click is enough for Amazing. Now going on G. As you can clearly see, the Necrobook Warrior is doing a lot of work. The right click doing a lot of work. He might get a double here and will. Nature's Prophet, in the meantime, gets that tier 1 tower bottom. Not that it matters. The Visisberg getting chased down now. Can they pick that off too? Yes, just barely for Invis. He gets the kill on that. So now, Sahara looking real strong. The gold lead not just there yet. Only 500 gold. And experience is about even. A lot of this is because of the Nature's Prophet split push. You got that tier 1 tower down in that bottom lane. He is at a Necrobook 2 himself, so it's a battle for pushing supremacy now between him and Amazing. Nice little ward here on the upper echelon of the cliff there. Mineski will get a lot of vision. Chemical Rage going for Jesse Fast. He's got that Blink Dagger. Io sitting behind. Fortification's going to go. They have no Fury on. As of right now, he can TP in again at a moment's notice. There's going to be the mech TP coming through on the backside. That'll be the Gyrocopter coming in any minute now. They lose the tier 1 tower. Now Blink, unstable, Amazing, in trouble. Call down as well. Nice Force Staff coming through. Nice Tornado. Static Storm is not quite there yet. Actually, was just used. Now, going in. Nice as the Shackles. Grab the kill on the Nature's Prophet, who TP'd on the backside. G getting chased down. There's the Lycan ult. He gets another kill. It's a double. Familiars are on the ground, stunning him up. Ends the aggression. Amazing's kind of low. Needs to get healed back up. The mech was already used, I believe, by Phoenix there. If I could click on him, no.
Dire's middle tower is under
Maybe I'm
attack.
correcting that. Oh, it was the Bristleback, excuse me. So, another 2 quick kills. That Force Staff was absolutely fantastic coming out from Invis. Just to know that his teammate was in a bit of trouble. That call down goes, he's probably dead. Gets Force Staff all out of the call down, followed up by an excellent Tornado from Invis to clean things up there. Static Storm misses a bit. Nature's Prophet TP's on the backside a bit too aggressively, and they lose 2 heroes because of it. So, tier 3 tower getting pushed in now. Necro unit still going. There's the Glimpse Tornado. Nicely timed. EMP gonna go as well. Call down as well. BKBs are popped. There's the Hex up. Unstable's gonna hit himself. He'll die because of it. Lycan gets the last 10 on him. He'll back away. They get another kill. They're satisfied. They want to leave. TP coming through from the Furion. Not going to use it. He actually cancels it. Decides to go bottom. That's the better choice there. And just try to work on this tier 2 tower. Lycan has to head home. He's too low. 12k in his net worth right now. Going for that BKB next. Speaking of BKBs, this Gyrocopter's BKB duration getting down to 7 seconds. Not quite super low yet, but he's getting to the point where it might not be effective. Cold Snap, cancel the TP for Jay. Here's Invis working on him right now. Hit after hit after hit. No Tornado, Ether Shock. The Tornado will finish it all off there. The Invoker on a killing spree. Shackles on the Necro units. They'll kill, of course, the Warrior, giving that backlash damage, and the Creep got the bounty there. Unfortunately, didn't get that 300 gold, or excuse me, 100 gold, I believe it is. So far, Sahara, they seem to be in control of this game, despite the Nature's Prophet maybe disrupting and making them uncomfortable. They have that 4,000 gold lead, up to 5,000 now, and a 1,500 gold lead as well. Excuse me, 4,000 experience lead, 5,000 experience lead. Checking out the items real quick, the Force Staff is now done for, of course, the Shadow Shaman, the Rasta, he's got that going for him. So 2 Force Staffs. We'll have a, maybe perhaps a Vanguard or a Heart of Trash for the Bristleback. Lycan getting towards that BKB. And now we're going to see maybe a Scythe Device here for the Invoker as well. On the other side of things, Demon Edge is up. Maybe going to try to get to that MKB, and in fact it will be with that Javelin. Midas is still going just for Jay. Doing a pretty nice job of farming and getting some towers as well. But his next item, we'll see what it is. Maybe an Orchid, maybe a Lothar's. Not 100% sure there. Blink Dagger, as we talked about already. Maybe next item, BKB for Jesse Vash. He's been picked off a couple of times. Staff of Wizardry is up for Jay. Not sure what that'll be.
Top tower is under attack.
Hopefully not an Aghanims. If it's an Aghanims, that's okay, but maybe a Force Staff more likely than not, just to get away from any sort of gank. Especially after getting glimpsed. TP in. Tornado comes through. Big fight about to break out. Call down. Now Amazing going to use his shapeshift. BKB's going to go. Rocket Barrage. Amazing about to fall. Maybe not. Force Staff away again. from the Invoker is still too speedy. Now he's thinking about turning around. Maybe a misclick, still running away. Blink forward, Unstable Concoction, not getting charged, on cooldown for a second, still running away. Mech is up, Unstable hits on 2, Jesse Bash going, amazing, out of his shapeshift. There's the wards on the ground, Static Storm, Jesse Bash, Mech is up, but it doesn't matter, he's gonna fall as well. 1-for-1 trade, Soul Assumption, they grab Disruptor. Visage is doing work here, but the acid spray, Viscous Nasal Goo going to town. Nice relocate to get him out of there. They'll lose their IO in the process, but still a nice bit of play coming out from that IO. So relocate going to come through, and Bristleback should take this kill rather easily. They actually bring him back. They bring G back. There's a TP coming in. They want to keep fighting. Amazing's going to shapeshift once again. Call down going through. Cold Snap again. When they clean up, they got a couple more kills. They get Amazing. Roaming back up. Bristleback and Quill Spray them down. They're all getting kind of low. They can't chase this. Sprouts is up. They've got to be careful because his mech is up as well. They could even turn on this if they wanted to. No tornado just yet. Now it gets invoked. There it goes. Hits on 2. They'll try to fight now. You can see the Bristleback going to town. Rocket Barrage. Gets away from it. There's the mech. Sprouts up. There's the Nasal Goo again. Jay getting chased down. Cold Snap not used. Doesn't matter. The right click is there. Or is it? They aren't keeping him alive. The glimpse backwards. They get the kill on the Bristle. Jay still alive, but just barely. Now Soul Assumption. Indigo. He gets right back into the fight and dies. Double kill coming out for G. This fight will never end. Unstable Concoction on the Invoker. Getting pushed back. Soul Assumption. 3 down. 4 down for Sahara. Mineski have turned it around with their prolonged fight. They're still going. Phoenix has to run away. He'll force Saf his way to safety. I think we're done with that engagement finally. And suddenly they have a 1,500 gold lead after all of that. And I wonder why that is. Interesting. 2,000 gold lead now swinging down there. Still Sahara have a 2,500 experience lead, but they... And I thought for sure they could take that fight, but the IO keeping the Nature's Prophet alive just a bit longer. Maybe they could have backed off after that, but they just wanted too much there. They maybe had the same thought process I did. You saw how low everyone was. You thought Quill Sprays might be able to do enough to get them all down, but excellent spread from Mineski, making sure they stay alive in that engagement. They get another Roche because of it. They get another Aegis. They get even closer to that MKB for Gyrocopter. Now he's going to start dealing a lot of damage. Lycan doesn't have as much to show for it. His BKB is done now, but... that might be too little too late. The right click's starting to get there for the gyro. Checking out the levels real quick. Rust is still level 9. His ward's not leveled up just yet. Neither is Indigo. He's not level 11, I mean. So, bit tough, I think. We've got a good one, folks. So, I paused to take a breath as a lot of action has come our way in the past couple of minutes, but a lot of fun action, I assure you. If you've not been watching, you've been missing out on a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Oh boy, Invoker's still trying to get to that scythe, 3,300 gold in the back. He's almost there, just a couple hundred more gold, and he'll get that scythe, have that lockdown, be able to initiate a little bit better. The question is now, though, they've been giving up Roshans, they've been giving up towers. They're starting to bleed a little bit. Their lead is starting to bleed away. Lycan knows this, I think, more than anybody. He's got to play a bit more cautiously. The MKB now done for the Gyrocopter, and this may be the turning point. Luckily, as that's happening, Bristleback does finish his Heart of Tarrasque. So, in that fight where he died, he may have been able to live a bit longer with the Heart of Tarrasque and be able to fight a bit more. The question is, who makes the first misstep here? I think that's what it's going to come down to. Lycan continue to split push, but while he's doing that, you look at what's happening in the top lane. Jay's going to TP here and just try to wrap around and break down this tier 2 tower, which is kind of low. The Invoker, 3,600 gold in his bank. Amazing, sitting at 1,500. No, we know what Gyrocopter's got. Still only level 13, though. Not the highest. I mean, you look at the level difference between him and Amazing. It's quite significant. Scythe of Ice is finally completed, as we talked about, and Enviz ghost walking around looking for something. The Nature's Prophet's long gone, however, though, so he'll TP to the Ancient Stack and try to help out Quay with either stacking or just taking this all together. The Ghost Scepter came out pretty effectively for the IO. I'm not sure if the Visage had one as well. In fact, he does. This is great pickups from Mineski, realizing that the Lycan is the main source of that damage. If they can avoid that with their Ghost Scepter, they probably survive in the fights, and I think that's what won them the fight the last time around. So they'll continue to farm away. So as we continue further, waiting to see who's going to have the next smoke, because I think a Smoke of Deceit gank from anybody here, especially since Disruptor has one, would be super useful. They're all split up, generally doing their own thing by split pushing. Yes, they may give up some tower damage, but it's better to get a couple of pickoffs, especially if they get the Gyrocopter. They have that Scythe into whatever damage they can get would be really nice. You'd have the Ghost Walk leading the way. Nature's Prophet going to use his, of course, Treants real quick and go to the Ancient stack and just try to do some damage to that real quick. On the other side of things, Smoke of Deceit gang coming out from Jesse Vash. This is exactly what I was talking about. They've been off the map for a bit of time. They've got to be careful. Indigo can't really afford to die again, and they won't be able to kill the Bristleback, I doubt. So Indigo is going to be the target here. Blink hasn't been used yet. Oh, they could get the Courier as well. They'll send the Courier back real quick. Thunderstruck's going to go. Unstable Concoction flying through Indigo. Relocate on top of that. He's going to fall for sure. They relocate, try to push this tower real quick. Now some defense coming out. As you can see, Phoenix is here. Invoker grabs a kill on the Nature's Prophet, so that is something, but they will lose this tier 2 tower. Fortification is going to go very quickly, but what can they do? Bristleback's going to run right in. Maybe they won't lose this.
Dire's bottom tower
Actually get the tier 2 tower bottom. Look at that. I was so sure they were going to lose that tower, but nice defense coming through. Nice fortification. Alacrity's used on the Necro Warrior. Very nice. Now they're looking to maybe put some pressure on the tier 3, but already a couple people back. Tornado coming through. Going to push down this creep wave a bit. Oh, look at the damage there. Nice mech just to save Awa's life. They'll back off. And look how much damage just from that one wave of wolves as well as Necro units. They take down this tower about maybe a quarter health, I'd say. Liberi Fatali still working here with this Heart of Trask with that mech as well. Love the mech pickup. Some people question it, but in this type of game I say it's perfect. Your supports weren't going to farm it fast enough, and since they're fighting, it's absolutely fine. Looks like he'll go for either a Shivas or an Assault Cuirass next, depending on what they need. Lycan would certainly love an Assault Cuirass, but also would love a Shivas, and in fact it seems he's going to go for the AC as he has the Hyperzone and the recipe up already. So Shivas Guard it is. Unless that's just a casual plate mail, which would be interesting.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Oh, that you expected it. He gets it, finally. What did it have on it is the question. It looks like nothing. So they dodge a bullet, not losing anything to the courier, but it's still down. It still gives some gold for the Dire team for Mineski to work with. Double damage rune down to that bottom rune spot here. We'll see if Sahara want to grab that. Maybe the Nature's Prophet TPs and gets it. Going for his Scythe next as well. Excellent item. I love Jesse Vash getting this Heaven's Halberd. That's going to be really nice up against the Lycan. He does have a BKB, however, now, but if he gets that off at a decent time, Lycan's pretty much useless there. So, Heaven's Halberd, really good pickup. Plus the evasion on an already tanky hero is going to be difficult to deal with. He's got level 3 Chemical Rage. His regen's going to be absurd when that starts going. And he's even going to look for a kill here. This is going to be a tough kill, I think, for on the Bristleback. Unstable Concoction's going to go. They need to relocate. It's going to fly through. It's going to do some damage. The Rocket Barrage going right now. Can't get away from this. There's the call down as well. The mech saving his life. He'll get the call down. Only one tick. Now, there's going to be the wards coming through as well as, this, of course, the Hex, but it doesn't matter. There's going to lose 3 here, it seems. This is a bad fight coming out for Sahara. They just tried to save the Bristleback when they should have just let him die. The TP's coming through, and Mineski. Well-timed IO gank, well-timed Nature's Prophet teleportation. They're looking down to try to help out Quay. He's got the Ghost Scepter up and ready to go. It's done. We run out now, but he's still trying to make his way out of there. Jay may not be so lucky. There's the Hex up. Body blocks coming through from the Pig. Jay might take a lot of damage here. He has that Force Staff. He'll get out of there. No ultimate coming out from Amazing. In the meantime, they lose their top tier 2 tower. Mineski's looking to knock on the door of the tier 3. No usage. No Bristleback, excuse me, for about 30 seconds here. Soul Assumption going through, doing some damage. Blink, nice Hex, just on time from Invis. 4 step away, misses the Sunstrike. Meatball doesn't hit as well. TP on the high ground from Jay. Now working on Amazing, but he gets Cold Snap. Call down's going to push them back further. Still working on the tier 3 tower. Bros is up in 10 seconds. Another Blink, another unstable. Hex up again. Jesse Vash getting stunned up. There's the Shackles going through. Gets away. Chemical Rage keeping him alive. Now glimpse back further. Tornado. That's going to hit, but not enough damage to take him down. Amazing working on him. He'll grab the kill. They lose the tier 3 tower. Now, Nasal Goo up on the Visage. He's got his Ghost Scepter if needed, and he will use it. TP gonna go right now. Sunstrike will hit as well. The right clicks, that'll be enough. Ghost Scepter was not a long enough duration. Disruptor's gonna fall to the Visage Bird, surprisingly enough. And they'll all back off. 2-for-1 trade, but the tier 3 taken in that top lane. Okay. You have Tether. No creep wave. Oh, you're dead. You're hexed up. You are dead, my friend. Lycan gets that kill, so an extra third kill right at the end there. Lycan runs down the mid lane. Gonna take this creep wave, push it back. They sense some sort of urgency. They need to get something done. Need to be a bit more together, I think. That last little set of engagements where Libera Fatale died, they could have avoided that. Just let him die there, and they probably could have defended. Even without the bristleback, they probably could have defended. So, Roshan not up for about a minute or so, give or take. Creep wave being taken down by these treants. How lovely. He's still trying to go and take down this tier 2 tower, whether they like it or not. Amazing still has his shapeshift. 40-second cooldown at its max level. Real nice to have. Assault Cuirass has been purchased and picked up. So,
Dire's top tower
armor reduction and extra armor are there to go. The damage is going to be pretty significant. Io builds a Rod of Aoi. No surprise there.
Has fallen.
Sahara working on getting to this tier 3 tower. Jesse Bash is here. This would be a tough defense. TP coming through from the Nature's Prophet. Call down, gonna push this all back. There's gonna be the BKB. Amazing. Gonna use his shapeshift as well. He gets sprouted up right now. Still working on the tower. It gets fortified. Fatale backing off. Goose up. Soul Assumption. Unstable Concoction flying as well. Tornado hitting. Jay getting back. There's the ice wall on the ground. Still going. Fatale needs to regen with that Heart of Threats. He does have that 12 charge wand, excuse me. And his regen will continue to go. Tier 3 tower about to be pushed on that bottom lane with the treants as well as the, of course, creeps coming through. Roshan about to spawn. It is right now. And Viz and the rest of the team may go there and try to fight this, but Nature's Prophet already TP'd in. Will they find him? Will they fight him is the question. They have to push out of course, the mid lane right now. While that's happening, they're getting chased down by Mineski. Chemical Rage is going to go. Blink Unstable might fly. They're going to head to the Roach Pit instead, but so is Sahara. Or at least it looks like it. Soul Assumption in the pit, you can hear it going. And they should take this down. They need to have a good fight right now. It looks like it's just going to be another free roast plus cheese this time for Mineski, and that's something they couldn't afford to give up. Shiva's Guard used, nobody got hit by that at all, so now they really have to back off here.
Uproot you.
Another tight one, ladies and gentlemen. 7,500 gold. It is going for Mineski. That's a significant lead that pretty much came out of that fight they had not too long ago, where they all fought right around top and mid lane. An extended fight even. Experience is even, but I think gold's going to tell the difference as of right now. A lot of it has to do with the Midas, the Nature's Prophet split pushing, and finally the Gyrocopter getting up there in farm and in levels. You look at where the Lycan is. He is still level 22, so he does have that lead. Satanic Recipe is done, however, and that's a Satanic now for Gyrocopter, so the damage is very real for this dire team. Plus, they bottle up a Deity Rune on the Io. Interesting choice there. TP coming through from Jay, trying to find out Indigo, and this has been the issue. The supports, I think, have been much more effective on the dire team than on the Radiant team, but hold that thought. We might see a push come through. Necro 3 units are summoned. Tornado's going to fly. Ice Wall as well, just to make sure they don't push in too quickly. Top lane. Unstable. Relocate gank. Shiva's Guard's going to go. Fatality's very, very tanky. Still getting chased down. Call down's going to fly. This is Shuns as well. Taking a bit of that damage. There's the Static Storm. Only catching a couple. The Meatball flying through. Awa taking a lot of that damage. No BKB. Plague Ward's going to go. Aegis is up. They need to get this kill here. Rotating through. He should be pushing mid right now. Not trying to fight this. Owl getting chased down. BKB's gonna go. Unstable Concoction. Amazing. Trying to chase him all down. Shackles, long range. Blink forward. Owl. They want him so very badly. Not gonna pass the cheese. He has an open slot. Satanic is not there. Now you can see they use the halberd up on the Lycan. Not gonna matter. He falls anyways. A 2-for-1 trade on the backside. Io still getting chased down. Nature's Prophet getting shackled. There's the Sunstrike. He's gone. Double kill for the Bristleback. They're gonna look for more after this. The tier 3 perhaps. The Io trying to split push as best as possible. He's got the cheese on him. He's taking the creep wave with him. He doesn't care. But at this point, they've lost 3 of their core heroes. Well, 2 of their cores. The other third still alive, making his way back to base. A good fight. Nonetheless, you cannot try to focus down this Bristleback. They had 3 heroes. They couldn't do enough with it. Instead, the response from Sahara is in kind, and they take a nice little fight, and maybe perhaps a tier 3 tower. Now, I don't think they'll get a set of Rex, but I'm not sure.
Tower is under attack.
Disruptor's going to defend that tier 2 mid tower. In the meantime, tier 3, no fortification available. What about buybacks? Everybody's got one. Everybody except the Disruptor, that is, has a buyback. Once the tier 3 gets low, maybe they buy back. Unstable Concoction flying and Livery still getting hit. Buyback now that the Raxes are exposed, taking a lot of damage. This is a melee Rax. It looks like the first Rax to fall. Mineski's top melee. Satanic done. Finally gets to him after being completed. They force out the buyback. They get back in time. They realize that they got what they wanted. The game gets a bit tougher for Mineski. Still not out of reach, especially with the lead they had. Still a bit of a lead, but not by much. Sahara, their next target, maybe the 2-3 mid. It's going to be tough to take a head-on fight against this gyrocopter with the Satanic, but they killed him with an Aegis. They can do it again with the Satanic, I think. Smoke is up immediately. Mineski's going to maybe meet them on the backside here of the battlefield. Give them the good old flank. Unstable Concoction flying. A little too early, I'd say, for Jesse Bash. He'll get ready to go in just a couple of seconds here. Phoenix, wards are up. They're ready to go. Blink back up onto the high ground. Will they meet them on the backside? It looks like so. Phoenix getting called out. Call down on Amazing. BKB is ready to go. He's already been used of that, Heaven's Halberd. Owl flying very low. Already getting cheesed up, but it doesn't matter. He's dead. He's gone. He buys back. There's the meatball up and brought down. AC, Necro Union's running him up right now, doing so much work. The Bristleback tanking it all up. The Raxes fall. That's a set of Rax gone and almost another set in that top lane. They smoke up immediately. They back off to hasten their retreat. Looks like this may be the end for Mineski in this first game. With a set of Rax down and maybe another set soon to follow, I don't know what they could do to get back into this. They have the gyrocopter who can split push very effectively, obviously, with, of course, the flat cannon, but I don't know. Is it going to be enough? The Lycan's been doing such work this game. Okay. If you thought you were going to kill the Bristleback before, yeah, you're probably not thinking that anymore. This is standard 2 heart build. Sure. Yep, Okay. Why not both? Lycan in this bottom lane. They're going to look on the last set of Rax that hasn't been touched yet. Bit of tier 3 damage has been, but that's about it. Here we go. Lycan's going to lead the way, it seems. The rest of the team following up. And despite the supports maybe being a bit underleveled and a bit underfarmed, a bit squishier, doesn't seem to matter. Lycan's been carrying the team on his back, and that's just a proof of how strong that hero is. Bristleback as well has been helping. Static Storms have been on point. Plague Wards and Invoker, again, doing such work, and he's got an Aghanim Scepter now. So if you thought it was tough to fight against him before, think about it now. He's going to get all of his spells off in the span of about 30 seconds. They're going to go and try to fight this Rax, though. Fortification is available. They've got a TP now, but they might just go for a base race here. Mineski going up to their old tricks. Relocate. They're not going to bring back the gyro. Yes, they will. Nature's Prophet with the Desolator still going to town. They're going to fight. Stuns up on the Bristleback right now, working on the tier 3 tower. They're going to go for the base soon after this Rax is gone. Fortification is going to go. Now the Nature's Prophet has to TP back. There's the call down. BKBs are up. There's Amazing. He uses his shapeshift. Awa taking a bit of damage, not much though. Desolator still going on Amazing right now. Static Storm heading up. Libra Fatale doing work, so is Amazing. There's going to be the Gyrocopter dead. He's down for 83. Plague Ward, Shackles up. Alchemist is going to go down. That's it. GG's going to go. Sahara with a comeback win in game number 1. Excellent play coming out from all of their team members. And they'll win this game.
Radiant victory.
So, when it's all said and over, it is a best of 3. And Mineski have a game to get back into it, but Sahara, realizing they're behind, trusting Amazing, their liking player, with 652 GPM, 14 kills, only 1 death and 11 assists, him and the Invoker Enviz are able to come up and just essentially win the game for his team. Good try from Mineski, but it's a best of 3. Anything can happen. We'll get into the next game in just a moment, guys. My name is Mott. If you enjoyed the cast, you can follow me at twitter.com/Mott32. We'll check back in a second. Stick around, everybody.